And why in particular did you want to work in Minnesota at Pachyderm?
Pachyderm is an interesting studio. It was purpose-built as a studio. That is, the studio building was not part of an existing structure. It was purpose-built as a recording studio on a piece of land that also had a house where the band and the engineer and everybody could remain resident during the session. And it was about 50 miles from Minneapolis. So it was out in the boonies, and that had a number of very good sort of secondary characteristics. One of them is if you're in the middle of a city, there are a lot of distractions in the city. Like somebody could go off to see a movie in the afternoon and then, hit a bar on the way back and not make it back for the evening session, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Or, if you're at a studio where there isn't lodging at the studio, then you have to arrange transportation every day for people to come to and fro the studio, and people need to be there at different times. You need to schedule all that stuff. It's a real hassle. Mm-hmm. Whereas if everybody is just staying there the whole time, you just walk the 20 yards to the house and knock on somebody's door and say, hey, come on over. It's time to do your overdub or whatever. So that sort of thing is very, very convenient. There was a non-trivial consideration that they didn't want Kurt to have a relapse, meaning they didn't want him to be somewhere where an aspirational drug dealer could get a hold of him and try to make a score by hooking Kurt up with drugs. So having him away from the sort of urban environment meant that it would be difficult for anybody to insinuate himself into the session. And that made that sort of a scenario much less likely.
Yeah.
And in furtherance of that, we kept the details of the session very, very, very quiet. I booked the time at the studio. I had done a bunch of records at that studio, and so they knew me, and I could book time at the studio just on my own reputation and say, I'm booking this time. I'll be the responsible party for getting you paid. We're booking out, 14 days or whatever. The band is going to arrive on the first day. I'm going to arrive on the first day. We'll sort it out then. And we kept it all quiet. We didn't tell them who was coming. They weren't suspicious. We gave them a bullshit band name. And they weren't suspicious, or if they were suspicious, they didn't go out of their way to try to figure it out. It was only when the equipment truck arrived and all the flight cases had the band name Nirvana stenciled on them, that's when they figured out what was going on.
That's crazy. And how did they react?
I mean, they were kind of excited. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, the whole point of this was I wanted the band to be able to get into the studio and make the record the way they wanted to without any distractions. That is, without other people clamoring for their attention, without other people like trying to snap paparazzi photos of them, without other people trying to get them to come to their parties or whatever. Like I just wanted them to be able to buckle down and work with minimal distractions. And I'm very pleased that part of it worked out quite well.
Amazing. Well, I mean, it came out on the record, you could tell. Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you like this interview I did with Steve Albini, make sure to subscribe for more because there is a lot more to come. All the interviews on this channel are original. I'm the one conducting all of them and editing all the videos together. So if you do want to support me, in all sincerity, the best way to do so is simply to subscribe. Thanks for watching.